Nation, welcome to this episode of the Bo and Luke Show. I am your co-host, Bo Brabo, and I have in studio our other dynamic co-host, Luke Kerrigan. He's looking super sharp today, still has his guitars on the wall, so we know Luke is in good shape for this episode. We have a super cool guest with us. We actually just learned that we have a lot of things in common with our guest. Super small world, even though we're on the East Coast and she's on the West Coast. Our guest is Rachel Rose. She's a keynote speaker, consultant, positive intelligence coach, guiding clients as they transition to total life changes in self, health, wealth, and life. She's a TEDx speaker. She has not one, but two new books coming out this fall. So we know she's going to be a best-selling author. That's just how things go, Rachel. And we are going to be rooting her on all the way. We will promote the books and so forth. Rachel, welcome to the show. We are so glad to have you.
Thank you. Thank you so much for having me.
Yeah. So tell us a little bit about yourself and what you want the audience to learn today.
Okay. Are we going to start with the 3 takeaways?
Let's do it.
The 3. Okay. So I think that the 3 gifts is I'm going to show you how to uncover or give you a little glimpse into the gift of knowledge, power, and authentic purpose. And for myself, I have 3 children, and I decided I was going to learn how to snowboard. And ultimately, it ended in the ER with my youngest son after 5 days of being home from a week-long trip. And the doctor came in front of my son and my 9-year-old at the time and told me, find a ride for your son and kiss him goodbye. We can't save you. And so literally, and so fast forward, I couldn't work with what they were proposing and to do as far as recovery goes. And they told me they couldn't help me and that I would maybe get back 60%. Typically 86% of athletes that sustain the same brain injury are not able to live independently. Wow. And if they survive it. So my goal after many steps and way before I found the 3 gifts was to, get back to who I was and fighting to get back to who I was. And, when you go through the storm, you don't come out this person, right? That's the purpose of the storm. And I found a doctor that supported my beliefs, and I'm probably 96%. And it was actually he was asked by actually Marcus Ogden, how is it that Rachel was able to survive? And he said 100% mindset. Wow. And so that's when I always knew a positive attitude could impact your life in every way, but I don't think that I realized the impact that it can have on your health. Sure. And, and I know I love, how you approach just with your podcast and the outcomes of health is not just what you feed your body, but it's what you feed your mind and what you say to yourself and the people you surround yourself with. And that is why I'm here today. So the thing is what you believe dictates your thought processes. And I decided when I woke up in ICU, I didn't know how many days had passed, but I could hear the beeps. And so I knew I was still alive. And at that moment, I had no idea what was happening. And I just knew at that point in time, I needed to make a decision. Yep. And so for anyone going through anything.
Yeah, that is super powerful.
Yeah, that's incredible, Rachel. Thank you for being open for sharing that story with us, because I think it's something people really need to hear. And I think people go through similar things and aren't comfortable talking about it,
Yeah.
and I truly believe that positivity has a profound impact on your overall being. And there's
Yep.
so many stories out there for that. I also think that it's one of the toughest decisions in life to make that choice for yourself. Can you talk about how you decided to, like, how did you work that through your mind to say, okay, this is a deliberate choice to choose positivity? And then how'd you, keep moving forward with that?
It definitely wasn't easy. I don't know if the listeners can see, but that's my snowboard with the big ski on the front of it.
That's the
And
one you had the accident in with?
yes.
Wow.
Wow.
So yeah, I don't snowboard anymore. I would lose all my friends and family.
Huh.
But I really I'm not going to take away from the difficulty of being in a trauma. And that's what's interesting too, Luke and Bo, is that trauma can be so many different things to different people. You don't have to have like a near-death experience to be subjected to trauma. It could be a conversation or, so many different things. And so I think, there's some steps that you have to go through to get to that place, because it was, the positivity came in and is always there, and that's how I believe you can get through situations, is to know that on the other side, there's gifts and there's gifts and opportunities. Did you ever read the book Going on a Bear Hunt? Do you have kids?
No, I do have kids. We both have kids, but I don't recall that book. No.
Okay, so this is a great book for adults too. And so the team is going on a bear hunt to catch a bear, and every step of the way they come upon obstacles, and they try to go. They can't go over it. They can't go around it. They have to go through it to get to the other side. And that, I think, is one of my best pieces of advice, is that when you trust and know whatever you're going through, whether it be a diagnosis or an obstacle or a problem, that there are gifts and opportunities on the other side. It's how it fuels you to be able to give you, to be able to get you to the other side, to be able to get you through it, right? To know that there's something on the other side of this.
Right. That reminds me of like it's teaching you that to have that expectation, right? That there's something on the other side of it, right? I'm reading a book, and I can't believe I just found this book just a few weeks ago, because it's been around for a while. The Silva mind control method. Have you ever heard of that?
I've heard of Silva.
Luke, have you?
No, I'm Googling it.
The Silva mind control method. And it's all about your own mind, not control, not mind control over somebody else. It's you're controlling your own brain, right? And your own thought process. And the one thing, I'm almost finished, and then you got to go back through and actually follow his how-to, because the book has got a big how-to guide. Like, this is actually how you do it. And these are the steps you go through, which I love that. But he put something out there in the beginning that I don't think even I had ever thought about before, when you're thinking about your mindset, right? And I have a vision board here in my home office, right? So his first thing is you have to see it. Then number two, you have to believe it. And I think a lot of people, even myself, like, you stop there. Like, I see it. I have the vision. I believe I can get there. But then his third one was you have to expect it. Like, it's an expectation, right? You got to get your mind all the way through that process to then almost naturally, then your mind tells you, okay, these are the things we have to do, because you expect that result, right? And you just start, over time, you're doing those things, and it's all about here. So,
100%.
Yeah.
Did you ever read Think and Grow Rich?
Oh, yeah.
So that's kind of, the same thing, like every day. And I did that. When they told me I was not going to be able to recover, I decided I was going to do a TED Talk. And I literally every day said, thank you so much for my TED Talk, every morning, like Think and Grow Rich. But I love what you shared about that. And I have the steps I followed those steps that he's sharing. And in addition to that, I think one of the biggest lessons, another one that came out of the accident, is being able to ask for help.
Mm-hmm.
Because I think that's really, really hard for people. And when I found the doctor that was going to be able to, get my life back, I needed to be there an hour away every day for it at beginning 18 months, 6 days a
Yeah.
week. And the only person that could take me there was my 80-year-old father. And I had always been so proud to be self-reliant. And I think for so many of us, it's so easy for us to help others. And then, if someone says, "What can I help you?" You're, "No, I'm good. I'm good."
Yeah.
But I had to ask him. And Bo and Luke, after 3 weeks of getting in the car and being embarrassed and humiliated and feeling like I was, obligating him at 80 years old, he turned to me through tears and he said, "I just want you to know that you have given me the biggest gift of you have given me meaning in my life again, and you've given me purpose."
Yeah.
And that's a huge lesson for all of us as well, is that it's not a bad thing to ask for help. And when we bear our own struggles, I feel like we give other people an opportunity to step in and we empower them.
Yeah. I think there's yes, and I think this goes to hopefully it goes where you're talking about with your gift of power. And I heard someone on a podcast or something I was watching a few years ago, when you're talking about helping others, right? If someone, even if you're the person and you can put it out there, and then when someone offers you help, or if someone just offers you help and you didn't ask for it, don't be the person that steals their joy in helping you.
Yep.
Right? It's easy for people to say, "No, I got it. I'm good." Right? When in reality, that person, you could actually give that person something, right? You could give them the joy because they're offering to help you. Right? And if you don't let them, you're almost taking that away from them. Which I thought that was like, that's power, right? That's a really powerful thought. An action that you can take just by saying, "Yes, I would like your help. Thank you."
I love that. I love that.
Yeah.
But you're leading into something else, because I'm also working with leaders into leading with a positive mindset, right? Because when you're in a meeting, if you show up and the leader is like coming from negativity and stress and, just even in the Mike Barge, is that how you say his last name?
Barger. Yeah.
Barger. Even in that episode, it's, the team follows the leader. So when the leader shows up in like a positive place and focusing on the gifts and opportunities, as opposed to, "Oh my God, what are we going to do? And this is a problem. And what if this happens? And what if that happens?" Then the team shows up following the leader in a positive way and focusing on the gifts and opportunities and what this big thing in front of them could end up giving them.
Yeah. Yeah, I love that. I think that's great. Absolutely. Look forward to more feedback on that and how anybody that you're coaching from the leadership perspective is actually responding to that and how they're taking that and then putting it to action. That'd be cool to learn in the future.
It'd be amazing.
Yeah.
I'm going to send it to you after.
Oh, okay, cool.
We can talk about it.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, we'll have you back multiple times. So then how is all this leading then into the third gift and the gift of authentic purpose, which I know is super important for all of us to find?
Well, that is actually, so going back to the power for a minute, that power represents like the issue or the obstacle or the problem. And when you view it, again, from this mindset, when you view the power almost like a weight at the gym. So instead of looking at this big thing, like, what are we going to do with this? Looking at it like, how is this going to make us stronger? How are we going to approach this and come away from it with more confidence and be stronger to go into, the next thing that's going to come up, right? Because it always does. So whether it's in your personal life or in your professional life. And the third gift of purpose is the inspiration. And good or bad, it's in hindsight most often, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's in the reflection. But when now you show up as a different person, right? Because you've gone through to the other side to get the bear. And it wasn't like you could numb yourself or distract yourself. And now have more confidence and you're able to approach things in a different way. And what I love about this third gift is that it actually empowers you to take an inspired action that you wouldn't have taken had you not had this bad experience, right? In the beginning. And when you're in that acknowledgement place, it's about thinking about how can I take what's happening and gain something so that the payoff in the future is more than what I'm giving up right now.
Yeah.
So when you're always looking for like the lesson and the blessing and the way to get stronger, and when you're always like focusing on where is that, what is it? Where is it? How can we what can we take away from this? There's always going to be a gift and an opportunity on the other side. And it just changes the whole direction of your mindset. And if you're a leader, your team, your company, or if you even in your family.
Yeah, I can see that for sure. That's super good advice.
Yeah, I'm just loving this right now. Absolutely every little bit of it. Yeah, I think more people need to think like this and actually make decisions and choices based on this, just like you have, right? Have you read the book also? It's an old one called As a Man Thinketh.
Yes.
I love that book. Bo, have you read it?
I have not. Nope.
All right. For Bo and our listeners, it's basically, here's the premise. Your mind is like a garden, and whatever you plant in there is going to grow. So it could be flowers are going to grow, weeds are going to grow. So it's basically saying, like, if you put bad thoughts in there, guess what? It's going to grow. So it's all about right? So I feel like, Rachel, that's exactly what you're articulating here. And, this thing was written in like what, Rachel, 1908?
And what's so amazing, Luke, about As a Man Thinketh and Think and Grow Rich, and the science of getting rich, they're still applicable today. Like, it's so crazy, it's amazing, I think. And, I always say, if you want to have a positive outcome, you have to have a positive outlook, because there's a million quotes. If you think you can or you think you can't, you're right. You have to, like Bo in the Silva method, you have to have that outcome in your head already. And you have to have the outlook to get to that outcome. You can't be like, we're never going to get there. Or how are we going to get there? You just have to assume, like, we're going to get there.
Yeah.
Yes.
Once you decide, you're going to end up there.
Yes. And those negative thoughts are not useful. They're not useful. It doesn't get you from point A to point B at all. You dwell. It's just a downward spiral of negativity that helps you not get from point A to point B.
Now, can I share one thing?
Please share all your things, please.
Positive intelligence program that has gotten me through a lot in the past year. This was a really big move to start all over at 58 years old and leave my friends and family with my youngest of 3 children, and among a lot of other things. And we all have saboteurs within us, and we have we have the right side of the brain that's like, all looking for opportunity and looking at things from a positivity and positive aspect. And then we have the other side, and they're in us. They're like little judges, and stickler and the overachiever, And there is an operating system, and where you are focusing on, the saboteurs aren't going anywhere, right? They're the ones that like tell you, oh, what are you thinking right now? And and Luke, you need to get this before you can do that. But when you can shift into the other side, to the other side of the brain in any situation, you're going to open up, empathy and compassion and all these positive things. And it's amazing. And it's another conversation, but it's based on neuroscience. And
Right.
my neurologist, when he said mindset, it was just crazy to me. And what I learned from another neurologist is, he said neurologically that what we believe, or what you believe, dictates your thoughts and behavior. And once you believe it, it's very hard to disrupt it. And even in patients that I'm talking to, the doctors have said to me, I can do every single thing to save them or heal them, but if they don't believe that they're going to get better, they can't help them.
Yeah, I think it's all about the power. And if we forget how much, my gosh, how much power and energy is actually happening in the brain all the time, 24/7, right? And the vast majority of our body works without us telling it to do anything.
Yes.
Right? The brain is just doing it, right? There's just so much there. And I think everything we're talking about in the neuroscience behind it all is paying attention to it and doing our best through different types of programs or how-tos to actually tap into that deeper level of energy, so that we can, if we have the negative thought patterns that are hard to change, well, then we got to work harder getting into deeper levels of our mind to change those visions and those images, to start planting new seeds that can grow in a better way, that are actually helpful to us and others. It is such a fascinating space. Yeah. And yeah, we can talk about it all day.
All day.
I love it. So wait, instead of going to the next level, we need to grow to the next level.
Yes. 100%. You got to grow.
Yes.
That's the difference, right? And there's mindset and there's growth mindset. And I think those are different subjects. So just being able to grow and have the mindset that you got to grow to that next level, it entails that there's some work to be done. And you just have to commit to doing it.
You have to go on the bear hunt.
You have to go on the bear hunt. That's right.
If you want to catch a bear, you got to go on the bear hunt.
Fantastic. Yep. Well, Rachel, we always give, this has just been unbelievably fascinating. We always give our guests an opportunity to plug whatever you want to plug, say happy birthday to somebody, let the audience know how they can get in touch with you, whatever you would like the audience to know. By all means, go for it. The floor is yours.
Oh, well, thank you. I just, my goal is to impact and share my story with as many people as possible to inspire hope. I do believe that I survived this accident for a larger purpose. And I love what you are doing. And what I love most about what you're doing, because my background is corporate, is bringing this more human, focus and energy and awareness to the corporate, atmosphere. And so I just would love to contribute. I have a couple books coming out, but for right now, I'd love to give your audience a gift, and it's a blueprint to reclaim your power, positivity, and possibilities. And it reflects on these gifts and as a tool. And as, things continue to roll out, then, they'll be able to be in touch and be informed. And I'm just really grateful for this opportunity. I always say your vibe attracts your tribe. And I reached out to, Marcus Ogden on LinkedIn, and he kept saying we needed to meet. And I just love the collaboration of just making an impact.
Well, thank you so much.
Yes.
We could not agree more. We agree completely. The more people we can reach and talk to, not only here, but around the world, maybe we can have a big impact in people's lives. So,
well,
for
it
sure.
starts with us, and if I can just share my last piece for the audience is that if you're still searching for that one person to change your life, take a look in the mirror.
Amen.
Yes.
And with that, we will just own Luke Nation. That's a wrap.